Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are at my home farm here in PA today. Just taking a look at some corn. We've been in a terrible drought, so we're taking a look at some of our corn, and then I want to show you some food plot design that we changed this year. Just trying to get the deer out to our food plots a little earlier. So we're going to jump in the Can-Am, go take a look. Oh, look at God, did you see that deer jump out of there? My Lord. That doesn't mean blackberries. That thing jumped 8 feet high. Anyway, we're coming up on a food plot we call the Rockfield. Just put this grizzly blind in right here, but it's always been a fall plot in the past. And actually, one of my buddies from First Light killed a big deer here, Josh Harlander, a few years ago when it was a fall plot. But this year we come and put it in alfalfa. You can see it's coming up. We had almost 2 months of zero rain right after we planted it, and it's coming up, but we really need it to keep raining because it's still dry. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this one does. This was just a quick stop on the way to the other one, but this is a great little kill food plot. Slip into the blind with anything south. Alfalfa all through October should be money. I mean, you can see there's deer crap everywhere in it. So this is another one of our better spots. It's a blind that I call the Nimac blind, and it's always been the one up top. And when we had a west wind or anything west, a lot of it blew kind of across the corner of this plot, and they would get us. So we put another grizzly in here this year, and to keep them in bow range, what I did is I planted corn here, got destroyed by the drought, kind of come up like this high, and then it didn't rain, and then the deer just kind of come in and demolished it. So I'll probably end up disking that up and putting it in a food plot if it doesn't make. But this is all alfalfa that you can see here. It's like 20 yards off the blind all the way around, and so this is a giant south facing slope behind you. The deer come up and hit this, and the idea is to get them to feed in this alfalfa early season, which would put them under 20 of the blind right there. Anything south or west be a done deal. And our fruit trees, as you can see too, are just busting through these tubes this year. We've really done a lot of work on this farm. We've owned it for like 7 years now. We've planted, I think, 3,500 pines on this south facing slope, like 500 fruit trees, and it's finally starting to pay off. And if we can get some rain, I think some of this corn's going to make it, and this alfalfa will be money early season too. Well, we are at a field we've always planted, but we've never really strategically done it because we didn't know we had to. It takes a while to learn a piece of property, but what we've noticed is, because the way our farm lays, we can see a lot of our different fields from blinds because it's in the mountains. These deer that come out to these fields, because this is on our property line, we have a neighbor, I don't know, 150 yards that way, and they had a bird's eye view of these food plots as well, and they hunt very hard. They come in late, like hour before, 2 hours before dark, when our deer are already in the food plot. So our deer never felt comfortable feeding in these food plots before dark, and so they would always stage up down in the CRP, down in the flats, in the timber, and then filter in when it was too late to hunt them. And it took us a while to figure that out. So what we did this year, we planted giant miscanthus on the fence line, but it takes a few years for that to really get up. But what we did is come in and planted corn on about 10 acres on our property line to hide it from the neighbors, because it was just enough. And when this corn gets up a little higher, the deer won't see our neighbors won't be able to see the deer. I think they're going to feel a lot more comfortable coming and feeding in this early enough to kill them. We pulled a grizzly in right here. It's literally 50 yards across this food plot, but this food plot's very long. It's like almost 5 acres. We also put a grizzly in down low here where Landon almost killed a buck we called Forerunner last year. It was our #1 hit lister. Probably going to be again this year. We didn't kill him. He's still alive, getting pictures of him already, but he was another one that would stage up in the CRP. So I hung a lock on down here for Landon, and he stood up right in the middle of the CRP and then came this way and got past us. But we really strategically set this up a little different this year, where we feel like all these deer are going to feel more comfortable coming up out of the CRP and timber into this food plot before dark. And we also didn't just put in some kind of screen that was pointless here. We put in a ton of food that's going to hold them through late season. It's 10 acres of corn we're just going to leave standing. They'll bed in it, and also hide the deer from the neighbors and the neighbors from the deer. And hopefully we'll kill a big buck right here out of this blind this year. If I had to pick one blind I had to sit all year on my farm, this would be the one I would sit. So I'm excited about this spot. I just got all this sprayed. We're gonna come in next week and plant it. Hopefully get some rain, kill a big buck out of it.